Oy vey.
Oy vey.
We are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's Tuesday night, and it's the Monday Night War Retrospective. How is everybody doing? Hope you're having a great week. What an exciting time in the Monday Night War. We are leading into WrestleMania this week, and we're going to review the go-home show to WCW Uncensored 1997, and then the follow-up show. It lands right in the middle of these weeks. It's March 10th, 1997, and March 17th, 1997. Good times. I'm excited for this. I can't wait to talk about it with everyone. Raw was so good. How is the Stream Element spot running? This is like the second show in a row. I don't have Stream Elements. I'm so fucking confused. I'm so confused. Like, that just started showing up like 2 weeks ago. Yes, exactly.
Good stuff.
Great episodes. Vince Russo is now the head writer. We are in the Raw is War and Warzone era. And this second Raw, the go-home show for WrestleMania 13, it was so good. I didn't want to wait till next week to watch WrestleMania, but we're going to. I just want to keep watching. It's getting compelling. WWF is finally starting to fire on all cylinders. But we draw closer and closer to that Owen Hart pile driver on Steve Austin at SummerSlam. Only a few months away now, which is really sad for the guy. Man, as soon as he finds superstardom, his career's cut short. And we'll get into that when the time's appropriate. But for now, I just want to say hail to the chat. Manliness and motivation was first. Hail to you, sir. Parrothead says, Etep, check your twatter. Superfan Adam Shahan in the chat on the panel. Good stuff. Comic Skater, hail to you. I get it. I wake up at 4 a.m. as well, brother. So thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And whenever you can, if you watch wrestling, maybe join us on the panel or check out an episode of Liars. Come join us over there. Next time we do it, I don't know if I'll be on there this Friday. I've got a lot going on in the personal life. Love doing it, but yeah.
So hold on. You wake up at 4 a.m. and you put your 2-foot boat clown shoes on one at a time like everybody else, right?
I usually just kind of spring out of bed and into my shoes. It helps with the whole clown image. Yes. Hail to Horny Alf. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Glad you're joining us. I can't wait to get into these two episodes with you guys. Another monster. Hail to you. I am relaxed now that you're here. I've been strung up all day since Hillary Clinton said extreme right-wing people are going to steal the election. They already have a plan, but that's unpatriotic.
Well, Tony, I done told you, and I done told you again. If you get a good 4-slice toaster, you won't be feeling anxious anymore. It'll take all that anxiety right out of you. Just plug it in. Plug it in.
All right, I'll plug it in next time because last night was cold.
I took a bath with my toaster while it was plugged in. It didn't end well for the toaster.
See, Tommy, I'm reading your comment in the private chat, and that just adds to the mystery. Well, either way, hail to you, Stream Elements bot. Call your friend 69 bot. I haven't seen him in my chat in a while. Yeah, so let's go ahead. You obviously see the panel because I forgot to take them out before I introduced the show, and now I'm playing it off. But, let's go ahead and introduce everybody. Etep, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, good, brother. Good to be here. Talking some wrestling. I got to watch one of the Nitros while I was doing 8 million other things around the hacienda. But, it was good. I wanted to see the rest of it. I'm probably still going to watch it tonight after the show because I'm pissed that I didn't have time to watch Uncensored either.
Oh. Would you like to see me use a GIF inappropriately?
Yes.
Well, okay. How are you doing tonight, Vinny?
Not too bad.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Hell yeah.
That was rude.
How rude.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Vinny, how are you, man?
Right?
Yeah. Damn. I mean, I got Wiener lined up and everything, and he just full got you. I was like, whoa, to poor Vinny.
Right? You son of a bitch.
That voice you hear is super fan Adam Shahan. How are you, sir?
I am great, my friend. Thank you for having me. I had such a blast. Like I text you telling you, I'm having a hell of a time stopping. It just, you didn't want to stop. And Ripley, she got to watch wrestling for the first time. And this is her watching it. This is no joke. This is her first time seeing wrestling.
Whoa. She's like, this is one step up from gay porn.
One step up or one step down? We have Buff Bagwell on the screen.
Yes.
I know, right?
He's legitimately watching it. The rest of the Wieners are as well. But that's her first experience of wrestling. She's seen other things. Like when the dogs get brought down here, they go on the journey of the good Marvel movies. So we go to phase 1 and we start with Iron Man. But she got to see wrestling for the first time, and man, she was in. I mean, there was no break. Like Buff was on, and it was game over. She didn't move the whole time. Plus the strap match. I'm pretty sure they really all 4 of them really wanted to chew on that strap. But man, it was a lot of fun, and then sharing it with you guys and the Wiener Wrestling organization of Francis and the Wiener Dog Clan was pretty hardcore going on with some wrestling wieners. So yeah.
Good stuff. And I'm glad the puppy got to experience the good part of the Monday Night War. Angelous Draven, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I only got to watch the one episode of Raw and a little bit of the second episode. So
yeah, and I suggest everyone, even if we cover it tonight, go back, watch the last 30 minutes, watch the cage match between Bret Hart and Sid, and the aftermath from that, because Bret Hart, he absolutely snaps. Like they talk about in history, Bret Hart with the faith going in and often with the heel, and they just switched out of nowhere. And it's like, no, they were definitely setting up the heel turn. And Bret Hart basically snaps at the end of Raw, of the March 17th Raw. But, again, we'll get into that when we get there. Tommy, how are you, sir?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know how I got here. I don't know why I'm here. I think Splenda sent me, but I have a completely unloaded gun, and I feel very vulnerable up here on this panel. I'm scared.
It's a good thing you weren't in that scene when Austin showed up at Pillman's house, because Stone Cold's career would have even been cut shorter. So, yes. Horny Alf says wrestling wieners sound like a weird porno.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. So one thing I was talking about my buddy. Okay, I saw a YouTube comment that kind of referenced this a few weeks ago, and I was talking with my buddy about this. You know, leading up till about the sweet spot we're in now, of course, we had the 80s boom of wrestling. A lot of people, you know, did Vince McMahon make Hogan or did Hogan make Vince McMahon, you know? And I think it was just kind of perfect. They found each other, you know, and could work magic. Hail the future fantasy empire. But then we saw the new generation in WWF, and, you know, even with all Bret Hart's talent, I mean, it wasn't the best period for WWF. And then we go into the Attitude Era, which was heavily inspired by Paul Heyman and ECW and Vince Russo. With Vince McMahon as kind of that filter, you know. Probably the greatest time to be a wrestling fan up to this point was the Attitude Era, the NWO era over on Nitro. Just good times. But then Vince buys WCW in March 2001. Yeah, March 2001, like a week before WrestleMania 17. At WrestleMania 17, he turned Steve Austin heel after booking Austin. I'm sorry, he booked Austin like shit in that feud with Triple H leading up to No Way Out, where they had the 3 stages of hell match. I mean, every other Raw, he was getting busted open, and I mean, looking like a total pussy compared to Triple H. And then he puts him in the 3 stages of hell match, and Triple H beats Austin while Austin's on his way to WrestleMania to prove he still has it. So then at WrestleMania, he turns Austin heel on The Rock while The Rock is going away to film The Mummy. So he took the one guy everyone was waiting for to come back, booked him to be a pussy for a couple months, and then nobody wants to boo the guy. They want to cheer for him, so he turns him heel right at the moment when there won't be a top babyface in the company.
Yep.
But it feels like since the moment WCW closed, Vince McMahon went from, I mean, there was a point where they couldn't make a wrong move, they couldn't take a wrong turn, and it feels like they've been on a slow decline since then. And what got us into the conversation was the way Vince had gold with the Nexus or the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and how, I mean, he ruined those. But that's kind of, you know, even Brock Lesnar, I thought Brock was going to be a lot bigger than and he's done some great things. But yeah. Brock's just always
it got to the point it felt like Vince was driving a power wheel with one side of the battery packs out and the wheels just spinning in circles.
Exactly.
You know, ever since he got rid of me off the announce team, it all went downhill. Bunch of slack jaw bundle of sticks.
Yeah, and manliness and motivation, there's something to that. He says Vince was to booking with Joe Biden as the presidency. Like, during the John Cena era, I'm like, this is intentional. Like, and they talk about, well, John Cena was the king of merchandise. No, he wasn't. You didn't see Cena gear all over the place like you did in NWO or Austin. He was just the top seller for that era. So, I mean, that's just what I kind of wanted to start the show off with tonight. I mean, just the slow decline of the WWE, and it's starting to pick up a bit now. I've got some faith in Triple H. Didn't like him much as a wrestler. The Reign of Terror, all that stuff. I don't like when wrestlers like get backstage power and kind of go into business for themselves. But now it feels like he's doing right by the industry.
Do you think maybe towards the end, before Mark stepped out of the picture, maybe him and Paul had a talk, and he set him on the right path? I mean, because look at everything that Mark did as the Undertaker for WWE. Not once did he ever get a swole head about it. Not once did he ever push himself above or beyond anybody else. As a matter of fact, he was always the first guy to push everybody else first.
Yeah. And I think Triple H always kind of had an insecurity, like he was on the lower rung of the ladder when he was part of the clique. So he wanted to prove he could hang with all them. Then he wanted to prove he was the best out of them. There's always been like a minor, it's come off as more of an insecurity than a drive to be the best. Like Kurt Angle comes off like as a drive to be the best, you know?
Yeah, no, and that's why I think too, like even Warrior, like he shit all over Paul. Because he said it. He goes, he's a weasel. That's all he's ever been. The majority of his career was that. Yeah, he was always kissing ass, doing dirty things in the back. That's why he didn't have a lot of respect from a lot of people. And now kind of what's going on, like this is his opportunity where he could take the proper talent and make sure that they're showcased in the right way. And that way he can kind of start to cement a better legacy and not just being a fucking snake. Because again, look, like you were saying, Tony, he wanted to prove that he was the best too, that he was just as good or better than everyone else. So he kept booking himself to win all those crazy matches. Or how many times did he get injured? He'd come back and they give him the belt again.
Well, to his credit though, Vinny, you got to give him credit for the things that he did early on with NXT. He actually proved that he can get behind and push other people beyond himself and not be in the limelight for that. I mean, because you barely ever seen him on any of those shows. It was always, okay, make it look like Regal's running the show, and I'll sit behind the scenes, and I will pick out these people that are going to be good for the show, and we'll find a way to push him. He was doing it right there. And maybe it's that time spent in there too that actually kind of softened the freaking ego edge of his. But
maybe
it's almost like he matured a bit.
Too. Once he died down from main roster, I think it helped.
Yeah, like he kind of found a new maturity, and okay, in order for me to be the best at what I'm doing now as a backstage booker and now running the show.
Don't fuck up like Kevin's.
I can't push myself. I got to be pushing the whole business, the industry, the talents, the shows. I have to make those. I have to basically do for everyone else what I once did for myself.
I kind of wonder if another aspect of that is him having children with Stephanie. Because can you imagine him at the height of his Triple H run being that guy towards his kids? What you doing? What your homework is not good enough.
Spitting water all over him.
Let's talk the birds and the bees.
Attacking him with a sledgehammer.
Okay, kid, it's time to play the game.
Wow.
Telling him about how he drugged mommy and took her to a wedding chapel and married her.
I do find it funny though now that Triple H is literally DX is in charge of the WWE right now.
Yeah,
NXT too. Yeah,
that's part of it too. I think is that he was close with Kevin Nash, and he kind of saw and even though he wasn't close with Kevin Sullivan, I don't think, but he saw what happened to WCW. He's been around long enough to see what happens when talents go into business for themselves when they're holding the pen.
It's just hard to believe Triple H is going to be the one in charge of pushing people when he spent the better part of his career as the golden shovel burying everybody worth anything.
Yep.
But
I was happy we got to see him retire. I'm going to be honest with you, dude. When he had to retire after the heart attack or heart complications or whatever it was, I'm not going to lie, dude. I was really happy to see him fucking retire.
Yeah.
Speaking of, get your boosters.
Bring you closer to your God, any God that you worship. It'll bring you closer to it.
And what brings me to the Triple H conversation, I feel like we're finally end of that slow decline that Vince McMahon had us on for spanning 3 decades? Little over 2 decades, spanning 3, the 2000s, the 2010s, and the beginning of the 2020s.
Yeah, I graduated in 03, so I want to say, almost 20 years.
Since the moment he bought, and look what came after. Since the moment he bought WCW, literally within a week, he was turning one of the most popular superstars to have ever put on a pair of boots and graced the ring. He turns him heel right after his grand return. Then we get the invasion angle. Then we get the Reign of Terror. Triple H. Then we get the fucking long John Cena era.
I was
Then
out
he
by then.
shoves Roman Reigns down everyone's throats. In the meantime, he's ruining the Nexus. He's ruining CM Punk. He's ruining Daniel Bryan. He's ruining Bray Wyatt. Ruining Dean Ambrose / John Moxley.
Yep. There were so many great wrestlers. Like you said, yeah, Nexus has had a bunch of good ones. There's that one tall guy with the dark hair. I think he was British or something.
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he destroyed everything.
Yep. Barrett, I'm like, man, this guy is good. Like, he's going to main event WrestleMania one day.
Younger William Regal, he reminded me of very much.
Yeah. I'd say that. He had that vibe.
Vince is like, if you think you want to see Wade Barrett in the main event, check out this WrestleMania lineup. Cena versus Orton.
My favorite Cena match was getting his ass handed to him by Kevin Owens. Like, that was, he like power bombed him on the edge of the apron, and I was like, it's the first time I saw that because I was kind of out of wrestling. I wasn't into it as much back then, and like I got amped up to see him get power bombed on the corner of the ring apron. Like, I was so ecstatic. I was like, please tell me that ended his career.
I remember the night he buried, I can't remember both wrestlers. I know one of them was Chris Jericho and another wrestler was Simple. They were begging Vince McMahon, don't bury the Nexus. Like, you have something here. Let Wade Barrett go over Cena tonight. That didn't happen. And
Vince is
like,
one day,
he ruined the man's career. Imagine how hard you have to work even to get to that point where Wade Barrett had made it, you know?
Yeah.
All gone after that.
And that's the problem with Cena is he has gone, and he politicked backstage for every single one of those things. And he said, and his whole fucking ploy was, look how much money I draw, look how much merch I move. It's like, he's like, listen to the crowd when I'm out there. It's like, nobody fucking cares. Like, the people at that point were apathetic. They were booing him. It wasn't heel heat. It was go away heat.
Yeah,
you know,
it was thinking that that's when the business really started changing to what it is now, where it was more about your brand. Is kind of how I saw. Maybe I'm off by time wise, but I felt that Cena run is when really the brand, you know, picking up your personal brand, it really started with him.
I don't know. He really, the guy's a dick. I know a wrestler who said that he witnessed firsthand, because everyone goes, oh yeah, his charity work was amazing, blah, blah, blah. That was all done just to kind of boast himself up, because he was caught being a dick to other people, to fans. You know, kind of like when they're waiting outside or whatever, before they're ready to go in. He had opportunities, and again, kid in a wheelchair, whatever, he didn't go over and say hi to him, and this other wrestler did, and he's like, dude, like, they're calling for you, and he was ignoring him. He bent down to tie his shoes, like, I thought you're this big fucking hero. He really isn't. It's got to be on his time, and if the cameras are around.
Yeah, Stephanie McMahon once ignorantly said during a conference call, talking to the investors and stuff, that philanthropy is the new marketing. So that's, I'm not saying Cena doesn't care. I'm not in the guy's head, but you know, if you're saying that he didn't make all those Make-A-Wish and stuff, at least in part to grow his own brand, you know, you're lying to yourself. And I'm not even saying Cena shouldn't have been like even the top guy, fine, whatever, but we just came from an era where you had Undertaker, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Kane, Steve Austin, The Rock. Like, there was a very strong main event scene. And then it got to the point where you have a bunch of former WWE champions. Look at the Royal Rumble this year. I mean, half the people in it had been champion before, but it was more or less they were paper champions just so they could take the title off Cena for a bit before him winning it back to gain another pop in ratings or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's not like they ever booked Sheamus strong, how they might have one of the main eventers I just mentioned from the previous era, you know.
Yep.
And that's what I prefer. That I prefer there to be a strong main event scene rather than booking around one guy like he does with Hogan or Cena or Reigns. Like
Lesnar.
Like the Attitude Era, there was multiple stars that like carried the business.
Yeah.
And instead of just one, it just makes it stale quicker.
Yeah,
when you only have one.
Yeah, we talked about this last time, and that's it. Build the rest of your roster. You have opportunities to. Instead, he has them lose to people who are already way over. Okay, how do you build?
NXT made me excited, bro, because you were getting new people. You know, not all the old. You were getting the veterans coming back to teach the younger guys, like what we saw back in the territory days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we get a change to that. You know, we'll see. You know, again, Triple H can't change the business overnight. He doesn't want to put anyone in culture shock, but I am interested to see what WWE is going to look like 3 years from now.
I still think within a year, maybe we'll be completely out of Vince's shadow. Because like I said before, I don't think it's going to be like 3 months or so. I think a solid year from when Vince leaves. Because some of the irons that he had in them fires were working. Some of the pay-per-view stuff that they were commenting on was stuff that he had originally done. You know, yeah, there were changes right when he left, but there was still stuff, you know, as we were talking, you don't just throw it all completely out. Like there was stuff that they changed and did other things, but they still were running on some of Vince's ideas.
Yeah,
I hate the fact that they have a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Get rid of that shit.
Yep.
Like I get an Elimination Chamber if you want to do that, fine. But Hell in a Cell, that's supposed to be the end of a feud. That's not supposed to be okay. Every year we're gonna have one of these.
Same with TLC. Get rid of that shit. The gimmick, pay-per-views are dumb. Go back to like Unforgiven, No Mercy, shit like that. It makes more sense.
What are you talking about, Drake? What are you talking about? We need some more of the what was that? The damn turkey. The turkey. We need some more of the turkey.
Gobbledygooker.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yes, manliness and motivation. He says being a dick, so he's Kevin Spacey's favorite wrestler, referencing Triple H. Yes. Yes. So I kind of miss too. Like I get why they don't do it again now, I guess, but I liked it when Money in the Bank was at WrestleMania because it just made the show feel bigger. You know, like the winds of change are in the air. It's kind of the end of their season.
They also need to do a quarterly or every other month instead of every month there's a pay-per-view.
I'm okay with every month if they book it.
Yeah. Remember at one point that they I don't know if they're still doing it, but they were having 2 shows a month at one point.
Yeah, I know.
And then it got so ridiculous that they wound up having a SmackDown show this month, and then the next month would be a Raw.
Yeah.
And they did it that way instead, because at one point, they had one for Raw, one for SmackDown.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It became a bit much.
I was thinking the other day, too, why don't they do that since they still kind of have a brand split? Because now it's on Peacock, so we're not having to pay for the pay-per-views. So maybe one month do this roster.
Raw, dude.
Well, if you had the network, you didn't have to pay for them either, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. So that was so nice. I remember when they first. It sucks for the wrestlers; they're not making as much as they used to. But oh well.
Well, they're all dead. They're all dead by 45 or 50 for the most part. So it's a wash.
Well, if they ain't dead by then, they're dead inside.
Right? Oh, you're dead inside if you're in this business. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Go to the gas pump; you'll die inside a little more.
Yeah. So. Especially when you're having to drive to each destination.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
So, let's go ahead and, we'll see how it is, and we'll see what they do with Bray Wyatt now that he's actually got some someone that understands what he's doing, booking him.
To me, right now, that's the only thing in WWE that's interesting to me. Maybe carrying Cross a little bit, but Bray is the only decent thing to me.
Guys, I still haven't watched the DX Raw.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't ended up not seeing that one, but again, we'll see. At least Austin Theory isn't getting pushed. So he was.
Yep.
So yeah, let's start off with the week of March 10th, 1997. Raw's coming to you from Worcester, Massachusetts at the Centrum. It is live. Nitro's coming to you spring break from Club La Vela in Panama City, Florida. Nitro was an outside show, and I love those outside shows.
Especially in the pool, dude.
Yeah, the ring was surrounded by a pool. Nitro got a 3.5 in the ratings. Raw got a 2.3, and this was how many weeks now? Nitro's beaten Raw in the head-to-head ratings. So for 310, this is 37 weeks in a row. March 10th, it's 37 weeks in a row. So we're all halfway there for Nitro's winning streak. Now, your champions for WCW, your world champion is Hollywood Hogan, U.S. champion Eddie Guerrero, tag champions The Outsiders, television champion Prince Iaukea, cruiserweight is 6, and Akira Hakuto is the WCW women's champion. Over on Raw. What's that?
I said, bless you.
Yeah. Thank you. Had something in my nose. Parmesan cheese. Your WWF champion is Psycho Sid. Intercontinental champion Rocky Maivia. Your European champion Davey Boy Smith. And the tag champions are Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith.
I got me title!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Aren't you jealous of the Bulldog? Come on, buy my barbecue sauce.
Oh, son of a bitch!
He just needs the braids.
Yeah. This
Does he really?
This
Yes.
Raw.
Yes.
Yeah. This Raw is kind of bookended. It begins with a promo hyping the main event, which is basically Psycho Sid and Undertaker are going to have to team up tonight before their main event at WrestleMania in 2 weeks, and they're going to have to face Vader and Mankind. So Psycho Sid comes out for a promo, and this is the first Raw is War, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the Attitude Era set up now. A little plain. They'll add more as they go, but we got the new intro that my favorite Raw is War intro and theme ever for WWF Raw.
Yeah, I agree.
You've got Steve Austin walking through the war zone and people are fighting in the ring and just, good times. So Sid is the first person we see on this new era of Raw is War. And again, he's going to have to team up with Undertaker, but Sid wouldn't trust Undertaker as far as he could throw him. So he's saying there might not be a match tonight. Taker can just stay in the back and Sid will take care of it. But Undertaker comes out and he's like, no, because if something happens to you, I'm not going to get my title match at WrestleMania. So why don't you stay in the back and I'll take care of it? So then Paul Bearer comes out and he accidentally calls the newly dubbed Raw is War. He calls it War on Raw. He's like, we're here live tonight at War on Raw. I can't do a Paul Bearer.
Woo! Yeah!
Oh, yes! I can't do that.
Where's Chris?
So,
He does it.
I know, he does it really good.
We tried.
Yeah, so Vader and Mankind sneak into the ring, try to attack Undertaker and Sid, but the baby faces clear the bad guys out. And after that, or during the melee, actually, Undertaker thinks that Sid popped him in the back of the head, but it was Mankind. So they kind of square up in each other's faces. Good times. So in the main event, they do team up. And basically, exactly what you think would happen. You know, Taker chokeslams Mankind. The match spills out to the floor where Taker accidentally drops an axe handle on Sid. Taker brings Sid back into the ring to give him a choke slam after there's some beef between them. Then Sid gives Undertaker a power bomb and leaves him laying as Vader rolls on top of Taker for the 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
So, and that's kind of how
choke each other part 2. Wasn't that this one where they both go for a choke slam and you're standing there, or is that next week's?
Next week.
Okay, man, I'm sorry. I couldn't remember which, because I'm sorry, that part's funny.
Yeah. So that was the main gist of this first Raw. Meanwhile, over on Nitro,
hold on, you did miss one important part, because China.
We're gonna get there, dude.
Okay.
I'm just going over the main everything.
Yeah.
So
that was the other best part, but yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll get there soon, brother. So over on Nitro, it starts with Hollywood and Dennis Rodman, and this is the first time we've seen Dennis Rodman hanging out with Hollywood, and we're a week away from WCW Uncensored. Good times. And it's going to be that tag match with the NWO versus Luger, Giant, and the Steiners. I don't even remember the stipulations. If Luger and all the titles are on the line, and if Luger and Giant win, the NWO can't wrestle for 3 years. And if the NWO wins, they can wrestle whenever they want or something. You know, there's a lot going on in this tag match. So yeah, there's not much in terms of storyline progression, and it was kind of weird because this pay-per-view ended, if I'm not mistaken, with a Public Enemy promo, didn't it? And then Harlem Heat came out and attacked him, and that's how Nitro ended. And I'm like, that's how you're going to end your go-home show. You know? So really weird. Yeah, really weird physical ending to the show. But the real ending was when the NWO came out. Bischoff was with them, so was Sting. He's been kind of following the NWO around for a bit. They present Sting with his NWO shirt, and he's just standing there, you know. They try to hug him, and he just stands there. They get the shirt and, like, kind of dress it across his chest, and he doesn't, like, try to grab the shirt or anything. He just stands there, so they just kind of hang it over his shoulder. Yeah, and Randy Savage gets on the mic, says he forgot DDP's name due to his excitement about Dennis Rodman joining the gang. Bischoff asks Sting if he remembers DDP's name and just gets a cold stare. Yeah, so they kind of a lot in this final promo by NWO at the end of the show, but they're pushing the pay-per-view. They're pushing the Sting angle. They're pushing Randy, the beef between Randy Savage and DDP, which is just starting to develop because last week on Nitro, Randy Savage kind of attacked Sting from behind while the outsiders distracted him. So, point of this is Dennis Rodman will be at Uncensored, so buy the pay-per-view. And that was the big angle on Nitro.
That's right, brother. We got the Rodzilla on our team now. We can't be stopped. The giant worm.
And if you don't get the pay-per-view, then call Mean Gene. Hit 1-900, kiss my ass.
I do think Hogan was the pitcher and Vince was the catcher. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure at one point.
Probably.
What steroid scandal?
What steroids? You guys are only taking vitamins, right?
Brother, get ready to catch.
Yes,
Pat, it's your turn.
So,
I rear-ended Vince, brother.
On Raw, that
Hogan saved my ass.
yeah,
So he could take it later.
yeah, like if it wasn't for Hogan, we might have had something shitty like a series of Randy Savage and Roddy Piper matches headlining our shows. Instead, we got Hogan versus fucking whoever, the Iron Sheik.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. So yeah, as Adam had mentioned, that woman's here in the audience. Fucking, you see China in the audience on Raw, and security escorts are out again. But then later in the show, Goldust with Marlena is facing, and talk about a dream match back before we knew it was a dream match. We get Goldust versus Tim McNeedy. I know.
Awesome.
You know what though? It didn't matter who he was wrestling as long as Marlena was there with those big giant stogies.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And the
Good old
cigars too.
Tim McNeedful things.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. So almost right after the bell, Triple H and China appear on the rampway. And they watch as Goldust, you know, who knew, but Goldust defeated McNeedy in about a minute and a half.
Never would have seen that happening.
Yeah, so like McNeedy, it must have been a
he was robbed
for him. Yeah,
he was robbed.
He's no Alex Porto. I'll tell you that right now. He is not the pug.
It's a good thing he wasn't facing Steve motherfucking Blackman.
That's right.
If he was facing Steve motherfucking Blackman, he would have had a real motherfucking problem.
So China and Triple H, they attack after the bell. But Marlena hops on China's back for a sleeper. She's actually going on the offense tonight. Got a big pop from the crowd. Vinny's going to love this sentence. China tosses Pat Patterson.
Awesome. Just snatches him up and chucks him like a rag doll.
He was like, hey, get away. I thought you had a penis.
Yeah, it was before surgery, so it's like close enough, you know.
He's like, pre-op
The cat got tossed and didn't come.
That's like, I kind of like her jaw.
So yeah,
linebacker.
Yeah, Vince's stooges come out, Harvey, Whippleman, all of them to break them up. And this is the first time I think Triple H actually takes China and walks up the ramp to the locker room, tells him she's with me, and they leave together. So yeah, it's now the official era of Triple H and China. Stephanie McMahon's probably watching like, what's wrong with this dude dating her? What a fucking loser.
He really likes butt stuff.
Apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So what else do we get here? Just to follow up real quick, DDP had a match with Savage earlier in the night, and yeah, fucking, if you know Savage thinks the DDP has forgotten about him, he'll make sure to remind Savage of exactly who he is.
Yeah.
We also had
banged Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, exactly. I'd still rather have Miss Elizabeth even today. Dig her up.
Yep.
Dig her up.
I'm down.
It's terrible.
He's not wrong about it. I'm with you, Tone.
Yeah. And then Gene Okerlund interviews Roddy Piper with his new jobber family.
The Jobber family.
They mentioned like fucking Howard Stern was fucking criticizing Roddy Piper. Gene Okerlund mentioned, so Piper calls Howard Stern or he says that Howard Stern is hung like a pimple. Yes.
Wow.
I think he was being very gracious.
I think he was.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
Yes. Stern came out the other day, like he went to a dinner with friends.
Oh, I thought you meant he came out the other day. I was about to say, not
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah,
went-
that's
not
not
a
come out the
surprise.
closet, eh?
Well, he kind of did because he went out. He was basically talking about a nice show. He went to a dinner with friends, and it was the first time that he's been out of his house in 2 years since the pandemic. Over 2 years. Like he stayed in his house that entire time.
What a bitch.
What a
Yeah,
bitch.
they have a phrase for that. It's called bitch made.
Yep.
Exactly.
One
Must be nice. I had
100%.
to go to the doctor every 3 months.
100% USDA grade A bitch made.
Yep.
Yes.
He's
So
a bundle of sticks and a half.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they talk about Howard Stern for a minute. Piper also calls out WWF for saying they don't have one hip wrestlers on their pay-per-view. But the reason everyone's watching WCW is because WWF has no hip wrestlers.
Ableist.
No hip.
Yes.
But
Yes.
isn't
yes,
it
yes.
hip to be square?
Yeah.
Tip to be
But see,
squared.
he had-
somebody smack Draven.
He had one hip when he wrestled Goldust last year at WrestleMania too. So
I hate how they bleep the F out. I remember watching
Yeah,
it
I
live
know.
and he said WWF, but
I
yet
know.
they play it back and they bleep it. I'm like, what?
yeah, they have to for legal reasons.
Wow.
It's stupid.
So retarded.
Well,
So-
good. No, at least they have to do something like that since they keep hitting us for fucking 2 seconds of footage.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know. So Flair comes out. They lay out the game plan for Piper. The NWO's done bad stuff to the Horsemen in the past. They still want revenge. The fight requires experience, which his team has none. So Arn Anderson offers the Four Horsemen to join Piper in the fight against the NWO at Uncensored, but Piper wants to stick with his team. So Nature Boy gets on the mic. He says Piper can't do this alone anymore. The NWO will stack the deck against him for sure. With the Horsemen by his side, he's got Arn Anderson, the baddest of them all. He's got Steve Mongo McMichael, who will turn Dennis Rodman into a basketball. So, yeah, he wants Piper to walk the aisle with the Four Horsemen at Uncensored. Yeah, Piper's family, who he basically betrayed here, set aside wishes for them all, and they step aside. So, yeah, now the Horsemen are going to be joining the fight, which makes the entire segment last week kind of obsolete now.
Yeah.
Yep. Completely.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, seriously. Do you really want to go to war with the Shark, Earthquake, and a couple nobodies? Or would you want, like, even with Jeff Jarrett as a horseman, Jeff Jarrett, Mongo McMichael, not some of the stronger horsemen, but still, okay, horsemen. And then, Benoit or, because, at this point, Arn's not wrestling at this point. Yeah, he's still out. So,
Yeah.
The weak ponies.
Yep.
Fucking. And also on Raw, by the way, so Billy Gunn is back. We haven't seen him since he collapsed in the ring while wrestling Bart Gunn many months ago, and the wives ran out and everything, if you remember.
Yep.
And
Yeah, what
he's
was
the
it about? I forgot.
well, that was the way to write him off TV and repackage him. So we
Oh, okay.
haven't seen or followed up with anything since then. But Honky Tonk Man's been coming out saying he's looking for a talent, a successor.
Mhm.
I forget the exact terminology they use, but it ends up being Billy Gunn, which some know and some don't. Disco Inferno was in talks with WWF, even to the point where they used a silhouette in a magazine to push who's going to be Honky Tonk Man's, predecessor, who's going to be the guy that Honky Tonk Man trains to carry on his legacy and all that good stuff. And it was supposed to be Disco, but Disco ended up not signing. he resigned with WCW, so they put Billy Gunn in this role. But this would have been Disco Inferno's debut on WWF TV tonight.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
It would have.
Yeah.
I always like Disco Inferno. And, when you think about it, Mean Gene on the hotline was saying, oh, call me and I'll tell you what superstar is no longer with us. And this is during that kind of time. I'm not saying it is exactly, but it is funny when we talk about it. Because it is kind of during that whole time frame. So it's like, oh, man, I wonder.
I like watching his podcast, Keeping It 100, with him and Conan. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So probably the last real interesting thing to happen on Raw. They announced the Slammy Awards. They announced next week, 6 days before WrestleMania, that Psycho Sid's going to have to put the title up against Bret Hart in a cage match. But speaking of Bret Hart, the special referee in his match versus Steve Austin at WrestleMania, Ken Shamrock, goes to the ring for an interview with JR. This is where he confirms he will be at WrestleMania 13. He's going to be fair and square. And if Austin and Bret don't like it, it's their problem. Steve Austin interrupts Ken Shamrock on the Titantron. And he says he hopes Bret regains the title so he can win the championship for himself at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And he says the bottom line is that when he's done making Bret submit, he just might sweep the floor with Ken Shamrock while he's at it. So Shamrock tells Austin to meet him in the ring right now, but Bret Hart interrupts and complains that he was screwed out of the WWF title. And he wants his rematch next week. He calls himself the best submission wrestler in the world, with Shamrock standing right there. And Shamrock tells him he's not here to care about Bret's problems, just to referee the match. So Steve Austin appears on the ramp, flips them both off, and that's some hype for WrestleMania. I know, exciting.
It gets more exciting next week.
We're there. We're getting there.
So Jarrett and Mongo are gonna fucking join Piper at Uncensored. Fucking other than that, we just get a bunch of filler matches. Rey Mysterio versus Galaxy, Ultimo Dragon versus Hoovy, Riggs and Jericho. Oh, Medusa comes out finally. First time we've seen her since fucking Starrcade.
I was gonna say, I was kind of laughing when she came out to cut that promo. She's like, "I was the first one." I'm like,
she's like, "I threw away a title belt to come here."
Nobody told you to do that except for Eric Bischoff, and you shouldn't have listened in the first place, miss.
So, while she's complaining that she's the number one contender and she's going to face Akira Hakoto for the women's title, Luna Vachon makes her debut and beats the shit out of Medusa.
I thought this was I thought we watched this last week. Maybe not.
Oh, maybe that was last week. I'm sorry.
But again,
no, they announced that fucking Medusa's going to definitely get the title shot against Hakuto. Yeah. Sorry, I read that wrong. But she was attacked by Luna last week.
Yeah.
Not the best episode of Nitro. A little boring, but it was an outside show, which made it fun.
Yeah.
So, but that's basically the gist of both episodes. Like, Nitro has a lot of like minute and a half matches that were kind of meaningless. So, unless y'all want to talk about them, I'm good. Rey Mysterio beats Galaxy. I know you're surprised, Tommy. I get it.
So surprised. I'm still kind of confused on like the whole thing with Medusa. Like, there wasn't really a female roster on WCW. Like, I wonder how much money she got to throw away that belt and then go over there.
Let's see.
Didn't tarnish her though. She did.
Or what she was
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, or what she was promised. Like, maybe they promised that there would be a extensive women's division, and then she got there and then found out that wasn't the case, but was already locked into a contract. So you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's going to Japan, New Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have our own women's championship and because that was what I never understood with Ultimo. He had all those belts, came to WCW with all the belts, lost all the belts, and then just stayed in WCW.
Medusa got paid $150,000 a year, but you got to think too. It's what Scott Hall and Kevin Nash say a lot of the times. It's not even about the money as much as it is the days off. Like, you're not on the road fucking 5-6 days a week.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. So it was still a sweet deal for them. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Hey, to sit at home 150 a year, I'll do that
Yep.
right now because I don't even make anywhere near that normally.
She became a monster truck driver too.
Yep.
So I mean,
And at her age, I mean, dude, she could be a fitness instructor. I mean, she was ahead of the time. I mean, it was sad. But if we would have her now, could you imagine a women's division with her in it now?
I think if she was doing things now, Pfizer would scoop her up and use her for the template for their shots.
Yeah.
so guess who she married from 1998 to 2008? Etep.
Me?
A former football player. He played guard for 3 seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals. His name is Ken motherfucking Blackman.
Ken motherfucking Black. She had a real motherfucking problem. That's probably why she quit. She had on black eyes. She couldn't wrestle.
Right?
Ken Blackman just woke up throwing punches and kicks.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? She didn't shave her head. He pulled it out.
You get GR going, oh my God! What a haymaker!
Wait, and speaking,
What a
Tony,
sharpshooter.
of WCW, this day, October 25th, 1999, was the last WCW appearance of this man right here, Macho Man Randy Savage. This was from that day, October 25th, 99.
Wow.
High off his
Yep.
ass.
And I've had those tits in my face. I all slabbed up with oil and smacking me in the face at the strip club. And she was the featured entertainer.
The future sucks. $5 a gallon gas and no Randy Savage or Piper.
Right?
Gay.
You know, the worst part is we don't have the Public Enemy anymore.
Right.
Is that really the one?
Darn.
No.
No, we do have public enemies. They're in the White House. So wait, how many days do we have left of Diesel? What is it down to? 23 days?
Something like that. Yeah, and winter's coming up. And yeah. I don't want to get into it too
that's
much
Friday
here,
night.
but yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. Like, fucking most of the farming equipment runs off diesel. Like, that ain't good. So WCW Uncensored. That aired March 16th, Steve Austin Day, 3/16, 1997. And it starts off, it was in Charleston, South Kakalaki. And you got the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Bobby Heenan, and Tony Schiavone on commentary, which I always like that. Like, I don't fucking like Larry Zbyszko or Mike Tenay much. I wish Dusty Rhodes was on Nitro more.
Yeah.
Like,
He's on Saturday night, isn't he?
Yeah. I wish it was, and then he does the pay-per-views. I wish Nitro's commentary team was Schiavone, Rhodes, and Heenan.
Yeah.
So it starts, Uncensored starts with the United States title match between Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko.
Killer match.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So during the match, they go to the back where the NWO is surrounding Steiner. Back at the match, Six comes out, I believe. Sorry, I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
Six comes out and he tries to steal the U.S. title again, but Guerrero grabs him by the hair. Six throws the camera he was holding into the ring, and Malenko hits Guerrero with it to defeat Eddie Guerrero and capture the U.S. title. Also,
yes, sir.
But everybody missed the fact that Eddie had the belt in his hand and swung it to hit Dean.
Yeah,
so
Eddie.
It's kind of a, well, if you're going to hit me with the belt, I'm going to hit you with the camera.
Eddie's been acting heelish lately, definitely. And also during this match, I guess the NWO beats the shit out of Rick Steiner, and he's getting put on a stretcher, and he's getting taken out. So now it's in question if he's going to be in the main event tonight.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do the math on that one.
Well, with it being Rick, maybe his son that is now the NXT champion was being born, so he had to get the night off.
He had a 23rd and 1/3 of a chance of 5/8 of making it all the way to the end of that match.
Poor Rick,
right?
So Mean Gene interviews Roddy Piper. And then he's joined by Jarrett, Chris Benoit, and Steve McMichael. Jeff tells Gene not to instigate. They're here to watch Piper's back. The Horsemen agree that tonight it's them together as a unit. And McMichael says he owes the NWO for the attack last Monday. And yeah, we go into the next match. Psychosis versus the Ultimo Dragon. Tornado. Yeah, like fucking Ultimo Dragon, basically, he goes to do a Frankensteiner, but he slips and hits more of a tornado DDT, then hits a dragon suplex and picks up the win.
match.
Yeah. Gene interviews DDP, and he asks Paige about Macho Man and how he feels about Savage not giving him the time of day. Paige says that the people in the building know who he is, and that's all that matters. He asks Paige about joining the main event tonight, but Paige keeps the focus on Savage and that he hasn't forgotten about the attack Savage has been giving him lately. Yeah. So, Savage basically interrupts, gets on the mic, and tells DDP that he's going to apologize to the fans for being on top of his game. He respects Paige, but he doesn't need to answer to him. Savage and Elizabeth have a Playboy, which features nude celebrities, and one of the celebrities in there is DDP's wife, the Diamond Doll, Kimberly.
I still have that one.
Yeah.
I don't have that one.
So Kimberly comes from the back. She has NWO spray painted all over her. She's crying and fucking all traumatized. And when Paige turns his attention towards her, Savage hits him from behind, beats his ass, and spray paints NWO on his back.
Again?
While Miss Elizabeth spray paints Kimberly again.
Nice.
Damn.
Elizabeth
we at
don't
least
give
have
a
stills we could see again. For science.
Didn't she do more than one Playboy?
I don't know.
Kimberly?
She might have been in 2.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think she was. I'm gonna do some research.
Yes. Sorry, guys. I haven't been writing down the results lately, but we watch them, and I'm just like, fuck, it takes so long to write down the results. So, sorry if I'm saying a lot, but I'm just trying to.
You're fine. We're just trying to remember because there's a lot of wrestling that we are covering this week.
Yeah, the only bit I had a chance to see was the steel cage match with Bret Hart and Sid, and
so beautiful.
The ridiculous stuff that ensued afterwards too.
Made me want to go right to WrestleMania, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
that was a good Raw. That whole Raw, there's a lot of good stuff that we were covering with the China tossing, which was the week before.
Yeah.
There's just little segments in between that are really good because half of the show, nothing really happens. It matters. It's like those few things.
So on WCW Saturday night, Mortis, aka Chris Kanyon, made his debut. They teased his history with Glacier, so they fight tonight. Glacier defeats Mortis.
Yes.
But after the match, Wrath comes out, and Wrath and Mortis beat Glacier's ass.
But his ass belongs to Canyon.
Yes.
Take that, Glacier.
The first ever gay wrestler.
Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
So
I think you're getting mixed up with that other show you were watching, Vinny. Brokeback Walton.
Oh God! I would never watch that. What are you talking about?
She's in 40-Year-Old Virgin. I forgot about that.
She was.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
That
she
damn
was.
meme with the
She was the
motorcycle.
chick with the nip slip.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Holy shit!
Speaking of nip slips, Buff Bagwell defeats Scotty Riggs in a strap match.
Yes, the dog's first match, by the way. Yes. What did you think of that match? Kind of lame.
Yeah. It was
Big
just
screwy.
finally a blow off to the angle no one cared about.
Yeah.
Right, and that was the thing is Scotty Riggs was not anything on his own after the American males. Like he got a little bit better when he was in the flock, you know, with the eye patch and shit after the match with Raven when he supposedly wrecked his eye. But even then, like when he wasn't working in like a tag setting, he was just always a fucking jobber. That's all he was. Like because they held the tag titles like once, I think, once or twice as the American males, but after that, yeah, he just was. It was Job City, pin me, pay me.
Hey, Etep, real quick, since you mentioned the flock, who was the big blonde guy, the one that kind of looked like ma'am?
Oh, you're talking about Van Hammer. He was in
That's
WCW. He was in WCW from like the start of
John Morrison
WCW.
ripped him off.
He basically did. And all, I mean, look at like, except for Morrison actually was. I don't like Morrison. Don't get me wrong, but he was more talented in the ring. Van Hammer was he was a botch fest his entire career.
Yeah.
I don't know. He must have had a guaranteed contract because he was like dangerous to work with.
Yeah. A lot of WCW wrestlers weren't ready to be in the ring when they were.
Hoovy.
Yeah. Goldberg.
Oh,
Harlem
God, yeah.
Heat. Harlem Heat defeats the Public Enemy. We have a TV title match where they put Prince Iakea over Rey Mysterio Jr.
Haha. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. Fuck Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
So then we get a triple tag team
daughter.
match. Team NWO. Okay, see, I didn't even know it was a fucking triple tag team.
Yeah,
It's like this
it
is
was
so
triple.
convoluted. I thought it was
Mhm.
two teams. And I've been
Yeah.
watching them all, and I didn't realize that.
It was weird because I was thinking it was, dude, it's not just you. I was watching it and I'm like, wait a minute, it's a triple tag?
Yeah,
Because
it's
it didn't seem like they promoted it as a triple tag. So I was
I
thinking it was a
know.
tag match of
Yeah,
the WCW Piper Horseman guys, you know, versus
that's
the NWO.
that's what was
to me.
confusing me because I'm like, what about Giant and Luger? So okay, this is what it is: triple tag team match.
A
Team
Giant
NWO, which is Hogan, Scott Hall, Nash, and Savage with Dennis Rodman. You've got Team Piper, Benoit, Jeff Jarrett, and Mongo.
Mhm.
And Team WCW with Rick gone is now the Giant, Lex Luger, and Scott Steiner. NWO ends up winning this. Looks like they ended up finishing off Team WCW. They hit Luger in the eyes with spray paint. Hogan crawls on top of him to fucking pin him. And then after the match, Rodman paints NWO on Luger's back, starts slapping him in the face. But Sting drops from the rafters, and he's been following, NWO around lately, and nobody's sure what side he's on. But Scott Hall gets in the ring gets back in the ring. Hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you here, fellow teammate. And Sting hits him in the stomach with the baseball bat. Scorpion Death drops him. Death drops Nash. Hits fucking Savage, jumps off the top rope to get Sting. Sting fucking swings the bat. Hits him in the stomach and ribs. Death drops him. Fucking goes through the NWO to where he finally gets Hogan in the ring, and Death drops Hogan. And the fucking fans are going nuts. Like, sounds like a... Yeah.
This was the first time he actually did something.
Yeah. First time he picked a side since fall '96. Yeah. Yeah, so now they know he's for sure WCW. So
Hell yeah.
I think they did that one right. They didn't, you know what I mean? It was like that slow build up to it. They didn't rush the damn storyline, and it kind of let it simmer for a minute to keep people guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And having the fake Sting definitely helped.
yes.
No,
I hated
think-
fake Sting. I thought
No,
that was
fake-
stupid.
Fake Sting gave it away. It gave it away that he was WCW and not NWO.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think that's why they could build it out so long, because they didn't ever, you know, you had the real and fake Sting, which they had that back in WCW days, like pre this. You know, WCW did that before, so it's not the first time they did it.
Right.
But it was just cute this time around because, you know, we got what we got. I think it paid off.
I think it would have paid off better if there was no fake one.
Yeah.
I think it would have been fine if they had the fake one, and then once the real one showed up, they just nixed the fake one, because at that point you knew that it wasn't the real Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Like after that, it was just pointless.
Yeah.
Just thank God that Russo wasn't there already, because it would have been like, okay, swerve, bro, swerve. We're gonna make Sting a bad guy. Swerve.
Oh
Bro,
God,
bro. Swerve.
Bro.
Yeah.
What a retard.
He got 100 bros 30 minutes in.
and he hasn't said anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
So the
talking about
next
bro. He said bro.
Bro.
the next night on Raw, they're in Syracuse. The night or the Raw before WrestleMania, and the big thing tonight is there's the cage match between Brett and Sid. But now it's up in the air whether it's for the WWF Championship or not. Also, Shawn Michaels is rumored to be heading towards the show, but it's just a rumor. So finally, you know, at one point in the show, fucking Gorilla, I don't even know why they did this. You're like, we don't know if it's going to be for the title or not. And then Gorilla Monsoon shows up halfway through and says it will be for the title. So nothing changed.
I thought that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing it for like suspense to keep people watching or what it was for, but yeah, we get the cage match. Steve Austin once again says he's rooting for Brett tonight because he wants him to win the title. So Steve can win it at WrestleMania because Steve Austin won the Royal Rumble and then he got screwed at Final Four. He wants the title. And he wants the title so much that the match starts and Sid's going to escape the ring at one point, and Steve Austin runs out and climbs on the outside of the ring and starts fucking punching Sid and doing everything he can to keep Sid in the ring until Brett recovers. And then he starts doing it again, and Undertaker runs out.
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker starts beating Bret Hart's ass for trying to escape.
Yeah. And they did it all up in the corner, which was cool.
Yeah. So...
Like,
yeah, there's like four guys fucking who are all enemies just fucking beating on each other for a good couple minutes there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a bad porn video.
that superplex was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was good.
Fucking, and we'll get to it in a little bit, but fucking British Bulldog suplexing Vader was pretty badass too. Like, damn, dude.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So... yeah, fucking we even get to a point where after Austin gets knocked down and Taker gets knocked down, fucking Taker's the one who knocked Austin off the cage. So once Taker gets knocked off the cage, Austin smacks Taker with a chair. They're fucking, it's a convoluted mess, but it's well done. You know, it was fucking intriguing television, which ended with, Sid starting to climb over the cage, Bret Hart escaping through the door, and Bret would have escaped through the door, but Taker runs up and smacks the door into Bret's head, basically knocking Bret out as Sid escapes and retains the WWF Championship. And I liked how they did that. Like, you kind of didn't know what the title match was going to be up until the last few minutes of Raw. Right before WrestleMania, you know. I like that they kind of I wouldn't like that if they did that every year. Usually I like the main event to kind of be set around the Royal Rumble and you have 2 months of build-up.
Mhm.
But I like how they did that, because right now WWF isn't in the best spot. They're close to bankruptcy, so they're trying to create intrigue. So we've had this been going on since the Royal Rumble. Well, who's the real winner? Because Austin got thrown out, but the refs didn't see, and he threw Brett out. And yeah, so up till the last few minutes of television before they go into the big show, Steve Austin and Bret Hart had a chance at having that title match. So I like how they did that. But Bret's pissed. Bret's pissed after the match. He's calling it goddamn bullshit, and he shoves Vince McMahon down.
That was a great shove, too.
Yeah.
He was like fucking flipped over. Shit.
Shades of McMahon, Mr. McMahon being born.
Right.
Yeah. He was pissed. Like, he said bullshit and shit, and I don't give a shit quite a few times. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, Vince Russo really is writing for him now. Like, holy shit. So he's fucking pissed off. Steve Austin gets on the Titantron and says he tried to help Bret, but Bret's a fucking loser. He's like, I tried to help you win the fucking title, bro, but you suck. You're a loser, so now I'm going to kick your ass at WrestleMania. And then Sid comes out like, what the fuck is your problem? Why are you bitching, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Sid and fucking Bret start getting into it.
Because Undertaker slammed the door in his face when he was about to jump out.
Yeah. So Taker comes in. Fucking, this is where Adam was talking about, like, Undertaker goes to choke slam Sid, but Sid goes to choke slam Undertaker, and they're just choking each other.
Throats for a few minutes.
Yeah, and then fucking Austin, fucking Bret Hart are brawling down on the fucking outside of the ring on the mats and shit, and then the fans go nuts because Shawn Michaels, he'll have a promo earlier in the night, but he comes out for the second time tonight. The fans fucking go nuts. I was waiting for him to attack Bret Hart, but he just kind of wanders around and wanders in the ring, then wanders out of the ring, then grabs a chair and does nothing with it, but just wanders around.
Well, that's the thing. He grabs it. He goes into the ring. First, he grabs one of the pieces that hold up the cage. He throws it on the floor. It's too heavy for him. So then he goes up the stairs. He walks around the mall. Then he goes between the ropes. He grabs a chair. Instead of folding it, he throws it on the floor because he didn't know how to fold it. So then it's folded. Then he goes back into the ring, and then he goes back down the stairs, out the other side, and he's not doing anything. Okay.
Yeah, and the camera's following him the whole time. Like, show us the people fighting, dude. What are we doing here? But this is basically Bret turning heel right here. I mean, he was fucking livid. And he's been bitching for months anyway about getting screwed, and this is when it all came out, Yeah. So that was the big thing over on Raw. Mm-hmm. On Nitro, I don't know. It's more NWO shit.
Did you guys
How
see that
dare
meme?
you?
I put a meme in one of our groups where it was when Ric Flair was in his last match, and he's all bloody, and he goes up to Taker and Mankind and Bret, and the caption goes, and the caption on the top was Undertaker, Rick, this better be your last match. Then you got Mankind, and he's going, wow, I can't believe he's still doing it. And then you have Bret, and he goes, this is goddamn Goldberg's fault.
Oh shit.
Oh
yes.
Damn.
The Goldberg did this.
Well, here's my question, Tony. Let's say Bret won the title. I think that the payoff would be that Austin wouldn't have got his neck broke by Owen.
Maybe.
Yeah. We haven't ever thought of that one, but no, seriously, think about it, because this is that defining moment that Bret becomes a villain. But what if it wasn't? What if they went the old ways and Bret got the belt, and then whatever's going to happen at WrestleMania, they'll figure that out.
I think they were still planning on turning him heel either way, whether he won the title or not, though.
Yeah.
because the fans were starting to give Brett mixed reactions for like a few weeks now.
Yeah, because they want to start pivoting into the other guys since
Yeah.
Stone Cold was so hot, but people still love Undertaker, and they finally wanted to give it to him at some point.
Yeah, because I think this is only Undertaker's second title reign that he's when he wins it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because he took it off Hogan.
Oh, he did take it off of Hogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that broke
it like the next week or so. It was like a Tuesday in Texas or something.
Okay.
Didn't he take it off the Warrior too?
Who did Warrior lose it to?
Because I remember they had a huge feud going on for a long time.
The world title, Warrior?
I don't remember.
No.
I just remember Undertaker and Warrior were in a huge
Sergeant Slaughter
feud for a while,
beat him
and I couldn't
for it.
remember. Yeah, I just couldn't remember if he had the title at the time when they were feuding.
Sergeant Slaughter beat Warrior for it.
Sergeant motherfucking Slaughter?
When he turned heel.
Because
Oh,
it was
that's
when
right.
Savage hit him in the head with the scepter.
Oh my god, I forgot about Slaughter's fucking heel
and then
turn
Slaughter
because
put
he
him
was
in
coming
the-
out with like the Iron Sheik and shit, wasn't he?
Yep.
He was coming out with
tweet
that
the
thing,
line.
that guy from, what was he supposed to be, from Kuwait or something?
General Adnan or something. Was it him?
Admiral Akbar.
It's a trap. He says it's a trap, and Blair White shows up.
I forgot to tweet the stream out tonight. I feel so retarded.
I tricked one of my buddies at work about Blair White. It was funny.
Oh, he was like, "Oh God, look
He's
at
like,
this."
I was like, "Hey, what do you think of this girl?" And he's like, "Oh, she's really hot." And I'm like, "That's a dude." And he's like, "You motherfucker."
And JR came out and was like, "Oh my god."
Oh my God, that woman's got a. Okay.
Speaking of, the main event for Nitro is Blair White and Scott Steiner versus Harlem Heat. No, it's Rick Steiner's back, but
gay guy.
Yeah, the match gets thrown out because NWO comes out, even Hollywood Hogan, and they try to re-injure Steiner because it was announced that the Steiners will have a shot at the tag titles at Spring Stampede, and Luger and Giant make their way out to even the playing field a bit. And once the NWO scatters away, Sting descends from the rafters again to be amongst his WCW friends, and he points the bat at Hogan, with Hogan staring back like, and yeah.
It's still a missed opportunity to keep saying Giant Luger.
Giant Luger.
Giant Luger.
So
Luger
some
forehead.
matches have been announced for Spring Stampede, which is going to be early in April. It's going to be April 6th. So it's less than a month away already. It's just, it's the 17th of March now. Mm-hmm. So, and I like this one because, we get Mongo and Jeff Jarrett, who are basically representing the Horsemen right now, versus the Public Enemy. Ooh. Tag title match. The Outsiders versus the Steiners, but your main event, it's a career-defining main event. Randy Savage versus DDP. And since not much happened in storyline as far as the NWO and Sting tonight, we'll jump into that. Fucking basically DDP defeats Max in about a minute and a half. Then Gene Okerlund meets Paige, who reminds him of everything that happened last night. His wife getting spray painted, and Paige is pissed. He calls Savage a dead man walking. And that this is real life. Like, Kimberly's his wife, and you don't mess with her. Mm-hmm. And Savage is in the stands. He's in the audience, and he's standing with Miss Elizabeth, and Savage tells Paige to get the bass out of his voice when he's talking about a legend like the Macho Man, when Paige is a no-name wrestler. And he ponders. He's like, Elizabeth, should I wrestle DDP tonight, or should I do it later? Tonight or later? I think it'll be later. And Paige basically says, you don't have a choice in that, and fucking chases Savage into the stands, and Savage runs away before Page can get to him. But this was a really good moment.
Yeah.
Not just for Nitro, but for Page's career. You know, the fans are really starting to get behind him now.
Mhm.
He's starting to become that big star that he'll become.
Oh yeah, and Macho did a great job at that too. I love when he was doing that arrogant shit.
Yeah. And speaking of bad decisions by Vince McMahon, fucking, I'll never get over what he did with Dallas Page. Like, especially when they needed WCW stars. Like, you fucking idiot, man.
Dude,
same with Savage though. Look at he didn't want Savage anymore.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah,
He
throw him
didn't
away.
do Page
You'll be
right
a
at all.
commentator.
Yeah. But making Page do that stalker gimmick and then job out to Sarah, and then he was positively Page after that, wasn't he? Did that gimmick?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
It was so ridiculous.
Mhm.
We'll cuck him
Mind
out
you, we
to
are headed to
Taker's
kiss my
wife.
ass.
Was that before or after McMahon was like making himself like make out with all the divas?
That was after.
Oh, it was after, because the same WrestleMania where he turned Austin heel X7 is the one where basically Linda McMahon stood up from the wheelchair after he was like making out with Trish in front of
Yeah, you're right.
She had a nervous breakdown or some shit, right?
Yep.
So fucking. Now, I'll make out with you on Raw in front of my wife, and then I'll eat your asshole at the pay-per-view. And then me and Stephanie will do the incest angle.
It's gonna be my turn. What a fucking creep.
They really did. He wanted to do an incest angle with Stephanie, and like everyone was like, Vince, no.
Yeah. Could you imagine that meeting? And they're all those fucking old time wrestlers like, what the fuck did he just say? Yeah, and then I'm just gonna start banging her on in the squared circle. How about that?
Go home, Vince. You're drunk.
They're all just porking each other.
At that point, there the wife she'll be in a coma, you know, and then we're gonna take the rest of her fortune and I'll stick her in a home, yeah, and then we'll visit her and this is great. Stephanie could be giving me a hand job in front of her.
That's the only thing that'll bring her out of her coma, is seeing Daddy's billion-dollar princess tug him off on live TV.
I can't even do.
Triple H is just like, we still get the company when you die, right?
As long as I.
No, the only thing that take me out is a sex scandal.
Other than paying off the girls in the office to cover up for the fact they've been playing with my wrinkly old nutsack since the late 90s, is the only thing that could topple this house of cards. Daddy's little girl.
I got sick of banging all the referees. I said, sure, let me just get that storyline with my daughter already.
God damn it.
Shane, you're next.
Wait, there's somebody that was there backstage that knows. He knows. I'll tell you what, Vince was fucking every single one of them. He fucked every fucking one of them back there. Guys, gals, the fucking he, she, he didn't care. He was putting it in the rear end. He didn't care. It was up the tailpipe. Vince didn't give a fuck. Just like Brian Last at a buffet. He doesn't even ask what it is. He just eats it. See, that fat bastard's back there. He knows we're filming the podcast right now. He's Hawaiian Brian, the king of the Vanguardian Podcast Network. And I'm James E. Tennis Racket up my fat ass cornet.
That's great.
So, By the second.
Send this over to McMahon, somebody, please.
No shit.
Sorry.
Too late now.
He's sitting there in the chair, in the rocking chair, with the Afghan over his knees, staring out the back window of the house.
The good old days.
He's just seeing it in his mind. Linda's like, Vince, that's it. He's just sitting there, and instinctively he just starts going, just out of nowhere. He's not even saying anything, and she's just like, Jesus Christ, he's having a fucking seizure. Then he just stops, and she's like, all right, whatever, and just walks away. He goes and fucks Raul, the pool boy.
What we really need is we need somebody who knows how to work a Ouija board to get a hold of Pat Patterson. I'm sure he could tell some good stories. First one is that in the back, they were all gay.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
There was one big orgy.
Baby oil and balls.
Speaking of gay, Shawn Michaels came out and said he found his smile in San Antonio, and he's decided to bring his smile with him wherever he goes. And that smile is Mike Chioda.
Was it a gleaming white smile?
You gotta show that thing you clipped of that, because that shit was great.
What is it?
That you put in the chat, that you clipped of that, because that was hilarious.
When he found his... hold on, I'll show. Yeah, Sean found his smile.
Yeah.
Sean found his fucking smile. So yeah, basically, he's saying, he's going to have his knee checked out in a couple weeks, and fucking he'll be back sooner than later. And when he's back, everyone's on notice. Yeah. Here, let me make sure this is it.
President hurt his knee, so I thought I'd topple him.
Yeah, so HBK found his smile. There it is for everybody. What? Oh, shit. Where did it go?
Oi, stop the screen share, bud.
Yes. So,
Hey, what the hell?
Sean's happy. Sean's happy.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, Tony, you're supposed to charge for showing everything in the DMs.
Dude, there's sex bots in the chat.
I was a little confused by that.
I said, when's the 69 bot gonna get here? And here, leave her in there. I just like the chat to look alive.
69 girls, XYZ. 69 girls, XYZ. That sounds like them fucking backstage rats Russo brought fucking shit stain brought in that fucking little cocksucker. Right, Brian Last? He said, yeah, he's fucking fat.
So, yeah, the rest of Raw's by the numbers, like fucking... Oh, and HBK, he gave Vince shit for not inviting him to WrestleMania. It's like, well, you blew my main event, cocksucker. You were supposed to drop the title to Brett, dickhead. So, Sean's gonna be at WrestleMania to fucking commentate. We got the European title defended, Davey Boy against Vader, where, again, it's Davey Boy versus Vader. But he did fucking do like a standing suplex to Vader, which is really cool to see because Vader's a fat motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Gunn, he actually has...
He's big bone. Big bone.
Yes, he fucking suplex that ham hock. Billy Gunn wrestled Aaron Ferguson, but afterwards, Ken Shamrock, who was on commentary... Billy Gunn gets in Shamrock's face and tells him to get in the ring. So Shamrock does, and he fucking... Billy Gunn goes after him. Shamrock reverses it. And next thing you know, we get our first Shamrock ankle lock in the WWF.
Yeah.
Steve Austin shows up on the Titantron. Vince asks him if he's impressed by what Shamrock did to Billy Gunn. But Austin ain't impressed because Billy Gunn just got done with a grueling match, and Shamrock took advantage of the situation. He calls Shamrock an overrated piece of trash, and one of these days, Austin says he'll take on Ken Shamrock and beat the hell out of him.
Yep.
Shamrock's watching on the apron as he says all that. Yeah.
You know what? You know what's really important right now to point out, Tony, is that Draven found this smile.
I did.
Yes. That's HBK's smile when he's backstage with Pat.
Looks like a vagina with teeth.
I tell you what, I'll win in that fucking mouth.
Because he's a pussy.
A lot of dick.
Yeah, like I can only talk about
Goddamn.
so much without fucking, y'all got to experience this Raw because it was good. Triple H took on Flash Funk and he beats him, but when they're done, China fucking holds Funk back and Hunter just beats the shit out of him. That was a good time. She even delivers a good swift kick to his chocolate salty balls.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Over on Nitro, there's a lot of minute and a half matches again, so it's it kind of is what it is. Malenko defended the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. We looked over some stills of Glacier and Mortis. Didn't get to actually see him, though. Scott Norton versus Chavo Jr.
Yeah, you didn't know who was going to win that.
Yep. But one thing they did that is starting is they're starting to push Flair versus Piper now. Flair's going to be back from his injury here in the next month or two. And Flair, he's fucking not happy with Roddy Piper, and he told Piper maybe when you were out here a couple of weeks ago whining about being tired and wanting to go home that you should have fucking just went. He's like, Flair, he's a horseman, so he ain't tired. He's going to stay and do what he needs to do. And also earlier in the night, Arn Anderson talked about needing to get his spine fused. He finally comes out and tells everyone he's injured. So he's going under the knife. And Flair said that even Arn Anderson will be back. He's going to go under the knife and he's going to ask for a Miller Lite when he's done. He ain't going to tuck his tail between his legs and go home. So maybe Flair should have listened to Piper when he said he wanted to quit. So Flair ain't happy with Roddy Piper after last night. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's the fucking shows. Good times.
Nice.
Good times.
I'm looking forward to watching Mania next week. I really am. That's gonna be fun. What is it? 13? You said?
Yep.
I don't think I've seen this one in. It's been a long time.
I just can't wait for the submission match.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be
Don't tell me who wins.
You'll never guess.
Yes.
You know who wins, Etep. You do. With 69 girls, XYZ.
Yes. Are they back again? 69 girls back again. Check into Ricky. Let's begin. I don't know.
They're not back. I hit them
Then
from
you
the
open
channel.
your eyes and they're all Waltons.
Party on, party people. Let me hear some noise. DC's in the house. Jump, rejoice. This party over here. Hey, The Rock's daughter made her debut in WWE.
Oh, yay.
Ava Rain.
First fourth generational athlete.
Mm-hmm.
She's a blue. I can hear Jim Ross. She's a blue chipper. She's the Rock Seed King. Woo! She's got puppies. Fucking king. I don't know.
Yeah, puppies. Oh, shit.
I don't know if those.
They didn't bring him back, did they?
No.
King?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck no, they didn't bring him back. He's fat. Now sit on his fat ass down in Memphis.
He
I'm
only
up
does
here in
shit
Kentucky.
for pay-per-views, usually.
Oh,
I
they
was
did?
say, is he even under contract with them anymore?
Yeah, he just does stuff for pay-per-views.
Okay.
Like commentating or like the pre-show or whatever.
Yeah, for a while there, that was a big thing, bringing up all these legends' daughters and stuff like that. I mean, didn't they even have Briscoe's kid at one time? I think they had her over in like TNA or something.
You talking Tessa Blanchard?
Oh, that's it, Blanchard. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, until she said some racist shit apparently, and that got her fired. And then she recorded herself taking a shit and sold it to a fan, like the recording of it.
Damn.
That's weird.
She's very yeah.
It was Walt.
Yeah. She's very attractive, but a very racist, weird woman.
Which one?
Tessa Blanchard.
Oh. Yeah.
All of them.
All of them, yeah, pretty much.
Smile.
All number 2 of them.
The Rock's daughter looks like she's a little.
Yeah.
Like what? I haven't seen her.
You can't say it on air.
Gotcha.
All right.
Who is it? Simone Biles?
Yeah. It's in the eyes, Chico.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Like she's not finished developing. I guess that's the nicest way of saying it.
Her electricity hasn't fulfilled itself.
But she's tall. I think she's like 6 foot or something, or maybe a little bit bigger.
Those are the stupidest
She in
sunglasses
NXT.
I've ever seen. Like, if
Yeah,
you had
NXT.
all the money in the world, would you wear those?
No.
Where what?
Like, his sunglasses look like her eyes.
I think he's got a thyroid condition. I was watching that movie. That's the one thing I really did notice in Black Adam. Like his eyes are bugging out of his head.
Yeah, they've always kind of been like that. That's what made him such a good heel originally. Like, he would look fucking scared when someone would challenge him. Like, his eyes would bug out. Yeah.
Oh no, I know that, but like they look like the entire like eyeball, the perfect circle is just like they're ready to just fall out of his head.
Meth head. Yeah.
He should see a doctor.
Meth head eyes. Roids are bad. Doesn't matter. Roids are bad for you. They'll make your eyeballs fall out.
Well, I knew they shrunk his testicles and they gave him boobs. He had to get that surgery like 3 times.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they did it to your eyes.
Okay, let's see what this is all about. Britt Baker names a toxic trait that she hates in AEW locker room.
Oh god, now.
Oh, here we go.
She
What,
looks
her
like
not
she
giving
hit
head?
a wall pretty hard.
There aren't many stars in AEW, male or female, that are bigger than Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, the first female wrestler signed to AEW when the company formed back in 2019. Baker has arguably been the face of the women's division since that time, with a lengthy run as AEW World's Champ, blah, 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 blah.
What did she say?
In an appearance on the Swerve City podcast, co-hosted by fellow AEW star Swerve Strickland, Baker gave her thoughts on talent who may see themselves as bigger or irreplaceable to a wrestling promotion, CM Punk. What's so toxic
Oh,
when
I've heard
somebody
this.
thinks they're bigger than the company, Baker said, or that the company needs them, CM Punk. There's literally no one in the AEW that they need other than Tony Khan to survive. Everybody can be replaced, CM Punk.
Yep. Is that wrong?
I get that. And I'm so tired of the word toxic.
Yeah, I am too.
This is toxic. It's like, bitch. Someone hand
just
me.
go
Yeah.
Dolomite on him. Bitch, are you for real?
Yeah, I'm tired of the word toxic. But yeah, I agree
I
with
know
her.
they need to rename those movies now. They can no longer be the Toxic Avengers. They need to be the Nuclear Waste Avenger from now on.
The Toxic Avengers was all the movies before Phase 4. Just give it a few years.
Speaking of AEW, freaking Brian Pillman Jr. nixed the him and his partner nixed the varsity thing for their thing, so they don't wear the varsity jackets anymore. They're just called the Blondes, and he has the leather jacket and shit now.
Okay.
Got to put him in a Bengals uniform. You know, you got to have on those Bengal tights like his daddy did.
Mm. Yeah, the varsity thing was just stupid, I thought.
Yeah, well, when they first did it, we thought it was going to be a real short run too.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I remember when we first started talking about it, we're like, well, if they only do it like for a small run, and then, yeah, they did kind of go a little bit. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
that's gone.
Man, just when I was starting to like DC again.
Now
James Gunn is appointed as co-CEO of newly formed DC Studios.
Well,
and there he is with fucking soy mouth.
Wow.
Yep.
This diddler. They
fucking almost 60-year-old man with soy mouth.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you drink the green milk? The blue milk or whatever.
I guess they still reward people for putting very disturbing things out there online and showing their personal life that's extra creepy.
It's Hollywood.
I think that's creepy. Did you seen that thing I shared about Facebook, right?
Yeah. Well, was it him that put it out there?
No, it wouldn't surprise me if it was, though. But no, I don't think it was.
What is it?
What?
Facebook had post something about oh God, what was it exactly? People need to be nicer to pedophiles, and that it's natural behavior, and this, that, and the other. Like, yeah,
being a diddler is a sexual orientation, and there's
Whoa.
a photo of a grown man holding a little girl's hand.
That's
and this was put in the ad section. Yeah, they were putting like one of the random ads that pop up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am so glad that I stopped using Facebook over 5 months ago.
Jesus.
Yeah, I need to just get off of there. I don't even scroll it. I just go on to fucking make smart ass remarks to my family who I know will see it.
Yeah.
Same.
The only reason I used to keep it around was for Messenger. And, I just like, you know what? If somebody needs to get a hold of me that bad, most of them got my damn phone number. They can reach me that way.
Right.
Yeah. Here's speaking of Facebook, here's something that popped up in my memories. If y'all can read it. Rihanna sobs, please stop it. I've already taken 3 punches. Chris Brown.
Terrible.
Oh, that was glorious. Holy shit.
I just, because I read it, Yoda's voice, there's another. It just right hooks Rihanna across the front of the car again.
Yes, I think manliness and motivation put it best. Wood chipper attracted persons.
Yeah,
think about the victim here. Like, So I didn't mean to cut you off, Vinny.
Oh no, I was just gonna say someone put out a perfect comment on that too. They go, if that's supposed to be okay, then taking them out and burying them, we should be called gardening.
Yep.
Yeah. Fertilizing the earth, Vinny.
Well, wouldn't that be eco gardening? Because you're getting rid of the waste.
Eco gardening, yes. Eco, yes. I like it, Tommy.
Insane.
Mark Hamill liked. Of course he did. Got my annual shot today. Updated shot. You should get yours too. For real. He actually typed for real.
Yeah.
This is the first tweet I actually believe Biden typed out.
Hey.
I know. There's a link there. There's a link. He wouldn't have been able to do that.
Hey, man, I typed that myself right after they gave me my that poke in the arm, man. I got it, and they were like, "Hey, now you're safe from all the plebe."
From the hooch of my nuts, it's stuffaluffagus.
The serfs they call. I think they refer to you guys as the serfs.
Come on, man. Come on. The thing.
God.
Yeah, this guy. What a shit! It's just
God, every time I dread even opening up Twitter anymore at this point, man. Because every time I do, there's 10 to 20 of those damn posts from either the White House, Kamala on her knees, Harris, or Biden, or one of those other idiots. Oh,
dude, you used to that shit that Hillary put out today. Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Oh
I've been
yeah.
taking swipes at her too. Oh
Yeah.
my god!
It's like-
These people are just so delusional. They're more delusional than Vince Russo trying to swerve people and thinking he's getting away with it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Hillary, but I've learned in the past 2 years or so that it's un-American to question the sanctity of our elections. You know, it's a take off the foil hat, Hillary. Yeah, that's nuts. Like, talk about, trying to
Gaslight.
start a civil conflict.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
that's their goal.
Mhm.
That's their goal.
About a hypocrite.
That's why we're down to a certain number of barrels left. Less than a month's worth of shit. This is just hilarious. And then they're going to be pushing some more nonsense.
Yep. So let's go ahead and take it around. I think we've killed off the audience for tonight. Let's go around if everyone wants to plug your stuff, and we'll get on out of here so I can go get something to eat before bed. Because I am one fat motherfucker and I'm hungry.
Hey man,
angry.
We've got we're gonna watch a movie tomorrow night on Going Rogue, man.
Nice.
I'll let everybody know what it is tonight before I pass out in my chair playing video games or watching TV. And yeah, they'll have member stream tomorrow night. Probably get another video out tomorrow. And I'm working on the documentary about the Axeman of New Orleans. Got that going. And yeah, stuff the rest of the week. Stuff and things. Until I'm not no Saturday night's main event Saturday. We'll be doing family stuff and then going out and having a few cocktails afterwards, I think. So yeah, it'll be fun walking around at bars. Jason Voorhees on Saturday night. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so that's what I got going on. So you can subscribe and subscribe to this wonderful panel, and yeah, you guys will be seeing pictures of the cowl and mask should be here by I'd say Thursday or Friday. So, and my machete hopefully by Saturday.
Sweet. Well, thank you for coming on, bro.
Thanks for having me, man. This is
For
fun
sure.
as always, brother.
Oh, hey.
Join us for Full Gear, Saturday, November 19th.
Angelous Gaston.
Hey guys, so Saturday, November 19th.
What is a vampire? My next documentary. Matt Walsh.
God damn it. We're gonna watch it and give our commentary and what we thought of it. And then should be a good time. Usually is. And then I do gaming and all that over here. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. I wish I would have been able to watch all of the episodes, but I was not. So.
Hell yeah.
Plan on going back and watching those because they were pretty entertaining, the one that I watched. So
yes. I just can't wait for it. It's getting so good. Like, yeah, it feels weird. I wish I could show more. It feels weird just sitting here.
And then this is the blondes now.
Yeah.
Would we be able to show it on Rumble?
I doubt it. It's a copyright thing, so I don't know. But I just, it'd be nice to fucking be able to show little clips because it was so interesting these past Nitro. Like, I don't know. When I read it on paper, it doesn't sound as exciting, but when you watch it, it's pretty good stuff. So.
It's because the moments were there, but you have to see it. Reading it, it just looks like normal, boring wrestling. But when you see those,
couldn't we do stills of those?
Yeah,
moments?
but I just don't have the fucking time to always do that. It's gay. Thank you, Draven.
Oh, if you want me to get stills and stuff of each week, just let me know.
All right. Good luck with your.
It is a group effort here, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you, dude.
Nice.
There's Walton's fucking logo. If anyone's
thanks
interested.
for having me.
Yeah.
Hopefully he makes it. I hope you can make it too, Tommy. If your internet isn't being a dick, but yeah.
Yes. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Good luck with the new Hollywood Blondes.
Yep.
Hope that works out for you.
Come join us. We're gonna make fun of Draven and all the wrestlers you like.
God damn.
Don't get it. We love our Draven. It's okay. Come check me out tomorrow, 4:20 Eastern Standard Time for Digital Distraction. Come join us on Double D. And then Thursday I will be on Justin Proper's channel at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time for This Week in Bullshit. Followed by back to my channel on Friday for Friday Fun with Friends at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then depending on if we're having liars, I'll be there. And then possibly if Vinny's having a stream, I'll be there. And if not, maybe I'll just go all damn night till after like 10 o'clock. Who knows? You just never know what I'm going to do. But yeah, other than that, I'll be with these fine gentlemen. Pretty much, if I'm not on the panel, I am always in the chat. Thanks for having me. Had a blast. If you guys missed what you missed, you can watch it and fast forward and get to the good parts too. But there are a couple really good matches. I'm glad that I have plenty of time to watch all this stuff because I love wrestling. So thank you again, Tony, for doing this and having me on. And it's great being on here with everybody, especially the Guinea Pig Collective when the internet decides to allow you to come on, my friend.
And I'm Adam Gashan, and I've got diabetes.
Thank you, Super Guy. We need an excerpt.
Rorschach's Journal, 10/25/2022. Was sitting on a panel with a guy who's talking about he's into gaming, emphasis on gay. Another guy who's got a big wiener dog clan. He's awfully nice, but he's got the front name of Gash. It kind of worries me a little bit. Another guy is a Wokuian who's always talking about swerving and bros that are swerving. Very curious. Must investigate further. The only one I'm not worried about is the artist on whatever side he's on to me. And the clown up there because he's got big shoes and we like that because we can tuck ourselves in there and get a free ride anywhere in the world. But hey, guys, remember, check out all these guys. And a lot of these guys are still, struggling with sub numbers. I mean, I know that Guinea Pig Collective has gotten a major push. That I'm saying it's the guinea pigs. The guinea pigs are the stars. I'm just a voice behind them. So they're running the channel. But make sure to check out all these other guys that are criminally undersubbed. They've been at it probably about as long as me, if not just a little bit shorter than me. But holy shit, man, stop by. You never know what you're going to find with some of these people that are not getting the sub push. They're not getting pushed by YouTube. Matter of fact, YouTube playing their games right now, man. If we don't all in this big giant YouTube sphere watch out for one another and help push each other, it's never going to happen because YouTube is going to suppress you. They suppress guinea pigs all the time. Matter of fact, they're playing games with me now since I beat their sub game with me. Now they're playing games with my videos. They're when I go to list a short, they're automatically sending it to private. So then I have to go back in and edit and set it public again. And they did it a couple times to me today. Or they're just completely taking the thumbnail away and then making sure that the video doesn't even get seen. I had one that was up for hours and didn't even get one single look. And I thought that was odd since it was, it was just nothing but the guinea pigs. But yeah, guys, we got to support each other. YouTube and these other companies, especially now because of the season, they're going to be pushing people down, especially if you talk shit about their heroes on Twitter like I do. But never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say and what you should or should not watch because your silence gives consent. And then you'll wind up with some little 3'3" weirdo running around in the woods doing God knows what to each other's butts. Be safe out there, everybody, or the guinea pigs will get you.
Oh yeah, brother. Thank you for joining us. And YouTube, stop being specious. Stop showing your bigotry.
I'm telling you. Bastards.
Right.
Always a fun time hanging out with you guys. Thanks, Tony.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you.
He does. Yeah. Please, if you haven't yet, go check out Ash versus Evil Dead and anything related to Evil Dead. I'm going to be talking about that on Sunday. So get ready for it. Fantastic series. I'm rewatching them already myself. And fucking hilarious. I even put up a new short. Took a clip, one of his funnier lines in there for sure. Just classic Ash. But it's awesome. So Resident Evil's coming out as well. Village Gold. So we'll probably be diving back into that a little bit more as well. But it's Halloween, so we're hitting more horror stuff. It's always a blast to do that type of thing. I got fantastic projects out there. Through the Woods, hardcover book, perfect for Halloween. Oh, by the way, Etep, you're going to be getting yours on Halloween Day, it looks like. So,
that's awesome.
So that's going to be rocking.
Hell yes.
And I threw in that little gift too for
Dude.
Trey. So
thank you, brother.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, we got awesome pirate book, Shadow of the Kraken. If you guys haven't gotten that, also really good for Halloween too. There's some supernatural stuff in there. If you want a fantastic book, great story, 52 pages, and we have City of Venus along with the art books. All my stuff is ready to ship. You know, you put the order in, you get it right away. And we also have Matt Walsh here. My next documentary, I did What is a Woman? Next is going to be What is a Cunt? And we're going to be focusing on Hillary and Mama Susan. So stay tuned for all that. Remember, be a man, high testosterone. Don't watch anime or cartoons, or pretend that you like cartoons and you don't. It's phoniness. Don't do it. Matt Walsh here. That's it. Yeah.
What about your vampire documentary? What happened to that?
I'm still doing that. I got to get more footage.
All right.
So again, we got to talk to Draven about that because I want to know if he bites someone who's from Transylvania, is he drinking trans blood? And what are the effects to his genitalia?
Versus non-trans blood.
There's a problem. There is no Draven, only Gaston.
Trans vampirism. Trans vampirism affects thousands of vampires every day. Only you can help stop this. Watch out for your neighborhood vampire and make sure he is not drinking the wrong blood. This message has been brought to you by the Guinea Pig Collective.
Can't we just call it HPV?
In that special, in that other
That
documentary,
sounds like HPV with extra stuff.
HPV. What is a cunt? We also have a segment in there. And what is a gash? And we have a special guest. Gash, it's a gash. That's me. I watch out. You know, I just put out a new ad on Facebook.
We need to go around and make a documentary. What is a gash? Like you just and everyone's like a head wound. Like
Wrong.
It's like wrong. This is a gash. They're like, that's Ron Perlman. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Enough said. If you don't get it, you won't understand.
And don't forget. Speaking of gash, we got another creep that's in my circle of friends. Remember. James Gunn, president for life, over at DC now.
It was like
hold hands with your kids.
It was either him or J.J. Abrams, and honestly, like James Gunn reminds me of J.J. Abrams if J.J. Abrams had any personality.
And diddled more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what? One thing about out here is we always got Halloween off because Halloween happens to also be Nevada Day. And like I've told the story before, but I didn't realize like not everyone got Halloween off until I saw Hocus Pocus and they were in school. And that's when I learned, it's just exclusive to Nevada. We've always gotten Halloween Day off. And what I hate about it is all these people move here from California and from New York and all these other places, and now there's a big push to observe Nevada Day to the closest Friday, so all the adults can have a 3-day weekend. And it was special being able to have Halloween off as a kid, and Halloween is really a kid's holiday. So it's just, I know that Facebook thing that Tommy was talking about was bad, but so is this. This is a little worse. This is a little worse. Think of the fucking children. Let them have have Halloween off. That's all I'm saying. Fuck you.
That's what
3-day
Facebook is doing. Facebook is thinking of the children.
Do they still do they do it at night, or is it during the day now? Like everywhere, Halloween.
It's usually
trick or treat.
It's usually at night. Besides, like the real little kids will come when it's still a little light out, but they all go.
Like back in the day, though, right? I mean, when I was a kid, I mean, shit, we'd still be sometimes out at midnight for trick or treating.
Well, that's the thing. That's the problem with living in a big city. Like our neighborhood used to always be full of trick or treaters. In the past few years, we've maybe had one or two because everyone drives to like the rich neighborhoods to get full size candy bars now. It's fucking lame.
They do trunk or treat here.
That's what we're doing. But we also have door to door though.
Okay.
Like we still do the door to door.
Do they do that at night or do they do it during the day?
We're starting at I think like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh, that shit's still light out.
You know what?
Yeah.
You remember at the one point they actually were making a big push for kids going to malls to trick or treat.
Yeah.
When the mall before the malls started like dying out a little bit. I mean, I remember that, and I remember. Like a lot of the trick or treaters around the neighborhoods, they just stopped because they just go to the malls and they would load up from all the stores.
Yeah, but I think
now they call that looting.
Right.
The trunk or treat sounds a lot more dangerous. Hey kids, want some fentanyl? I mean candy.
Yeah.
Dude, we used to do that at our dealership, and we'd have like my interns would have we'd have their fraternities coming because they had to do community hours for the for their charters. So they would come in and we'd decorate like a bunch of the cars in the lot. And, we'd pass out candy out of like 40. The first year we did it, we passed out candy out of like 45 cars. We bought like 4 pallets of candy. We ran the thing for like 4 hours on a Saturday, and we ran out of candy twice.
This day and age, I'd be afraid to concentrate all the kids in one area like that because you never know when the CIA might plan